So here's something I thought was interesting today to talk about. The Duo 1, you can only buy at Walmart.com. You can't really buy it anywhere else. It's very hard to find. It's been discontinued from the Microsoft store. You can buy it on Amazon, but it's overpriced. You can also buy it on eBay, of course, from third-party sellers. But you can't buy it, like, just go to a store and buy it anymore, right? Well, here's what's really funny. The Surface Duo 2 is the exact same situation, except it's harder to find a Surface Duo 2. It's sold out everywhere, and if you go on Microsoft's website, you know, the phone just came out a year ago, you can't even buy it. You could buy a Duo 1 all the way up to a couple months ago. You can't even buy a Duo 2. Duo 2, as you can see right here, you can't even configure any options. It does not give you the ability to do so. Now, what's interesting about this is that there is 6 different iterations of the Duo 2. So if all 6 iterations are sold out, that's really unlikely. And then you got to look at different websites like Best Buy that used to sell it, doesn't sell it anymore. Walmart doesn't sell it. No other websites sell, and the ones that do, not many, are sold out. So what's going on? Why can you not buy a Duo 2? With the recent release of Android 12L and how successful it was on the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and the Z Flip 4, Samsung's actually pushing that same software to the Z Fold 3 and Z Flip 3. So right now is the best time to have a foldable phone on sale, right? It's the best time to sell a foldable phone if you are Microsoft. Like, you're in the perfect situation. You get Android 12L on the Duo 2. You can market it, as I said many times in videos, throughout the whole entire holiday season, and you can be absolutely crystal. This is the rumor of why people are thinking the Duo 3 might not be coming out next year, might be coming out in the next couple months. So, of course, let's start off with number 1. Why would they discontinue the Duo 2? First off, trade-in value. So right now, obviously, the Duo 2 is $1,000, right? If you could buy it, it would be $1,000. They might have discontinued it because they're trying to wipe the slate completely of the Duo 1 and the Duo 2. So if you wipe the slate and you can't buy the Duo 2 anymore, they don't have to give you trade-in value for the Duo 2. That's kind of the idea / principle Microsoft might be going with. Now, if they do go ahead and do that, let's say they do wipe the slate completely of the Duo 1 and the Duo 2, and they say Duo 3 is the first iteration of this phone. This is not the first time a company did this, by the way. The Galaxy Z Fold 1 technically was a failure. The Z Fold 1 after that was actually successful. There was a Z Fold 1 before Z Fold 1 that actually failed, and then the Z Fold 1 came out, and then the Z Fold 2, and then the 3, and then the 4. There was a first iteration that completely failed. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a second iteration of Microsoft here. It's not like this is the first time Microsoft's created a Surface Duo lineup. This is the second Surface Duo. But if they completely act like, you know what, the Duo 1, Duo 2 was absolutely trash, we're going to just completely get rid of those 2 models completely, release the Android 12L on the Surface Duo 3, they add wireless charging, they add waterproofness, they add, upgraded specs, it could be successful. Now, that's kind of where we're at. The second idea / rumor of what could be happening right now is simply Microsoft has quit. They've given up on this lineup. They've given up on this device, and they don't care anymore. They're moving on to other different things that they're working on, and they're not going to continue to come back and try to perfect something that they keep failing on perfecting. I really highly doubt it's the latter of the two. The reason why I say that is because how much money they invested in the Duo lineup. I just feel like there's really no reason at all for them not to go ahead and maybe not give us a 3, but continue to try to sell the 2. They haven't had a full year of life cycle to the 2. It wouldn't make sense for them to completely abandon the idea and move on with their creations. Could they do it? Absolutely. Do they have the money to do it? Absolutely, right? But at the same time, though, I just don't think they do. Now, it is weird, though, because, again, like I said, the fact that they're not discontinued completely, because they discontinued the Surface Duo 1, but the fact it says configure now and won't let me buy it means it's sold out on their website. The fact that it is actually sold out, I don't know how I feel about this. Sold out / not available. I don't know how I feel about this. So I definitely will say, I saw this all over Twitter. People are giving their thoughts and opinions of this, and I've seen a lot of rumors of a Surface Duo 3 possibly coming out sometime soon. And it would make some logical sense, if they just completely tried to wipe clean the record of the Duo 1 and the Duo 2. But at the same time, I don't know what Microsoft's doing. And if they do that, how much people will actually buy the Duo 3? That's the question. There's a whole entire can of worms, Pandora's box, that Microsoft right now is opening with what they're doing, period. And they're being radio silent with the consumer. And that's never a good thing when it comes to a business. You never want to be radio silent with your consumer base, because your consumer base is what makes you popular, what gives you money. Now, Microsoft, Samsung, all these really big, giant companies, they're in a good situation where they don't have to care. And that is something else that we have to take into consideration is, a lot of times when it comes to smaller companies, they care what the consumer says, right? They listen to feedback and they kind of base their stuff around the feedback of the consumer, which is a really great thing, and it definitely moves that company forward. But when you're at a point like Microsoft where you're so big, it doesn't matter. It gets to a point then where it's like, hey, listen, we're going to try this out. And if it makes us a crap ton of money, it makes a crap ton of money. If it doesn't, we'll move on and we'll find something else to do. And that's kind of what I'm scared Microsoft is in the boat of. But at the same time, though, I'm hoping that's not the case. But we have to wait and see what Microsoft ends up giving us, because right now they are radio silent about everything. And if they randomly just one day say, hey, listen, guys, by the way, the Surface Duo 3 is coming out in like 3 days. This would be a really crazy announcement. But definitely tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Would you pick up a Duo 3? If it had 12L and it was obviously, upgraded enough for it to be serviceable. I want to say serviceable. That's the best way I can say it at this point. With how the Duo 1, Duo 2 has went, very serviceable. Would you pick up the Duo 3? Would it have to have wireless charging? Would it have to be waterproof? Obviously, Android 12L cannot fix everything. Obviously, would probably have a Gen 8.2 processor with the One UI 4.1.1. How much more would it need to take for you to buy a Duo 3? Microsoft, the ball's in your court. Peace out, guys.